How's it going, everybody? So we got the February 2026 numbers in, so we're going to dive right into the stats because there are definitely some interesting things going on this year. So let's start off with Florida as a whole. So here in Florida, statewide, we're seeing good resilience. Home sales for single-family homes are up about 3.9% from this time last year. We've seen that the median sales price is down, but only about 0.7%, so negligible compared to this time last year, holding steady at about $412,000. Active inventory has also gone down. It's gone down about 7.6%, which is fantastic because we were having just a surplus of inventory all around. So we're starting to see some of that thin out, which is definitely good news. Now, whenever we zoom into Citrus County is definitely showing pretty strong this year compared to last year. We see that closed sales are up about 14%. The median sales price is down, but only down 1.8%, so pretty negligible, holding steady at $280,000 is the median sales price for single family homes. And we also see that the active inventory is up, but only 5.1% compared to this time last year, whereas we saw in previous months, it was up 40, 30, 40, 50% some months. So we're seeing that come down, which is definitely having a positive impact on pricing. And then whenever we look at Marion County, the numbers there are looking good, not quite as good as Florida as a whole or Citrus County, but we see that closed sales are up 13%, still very strong. We see that the median sales price, though, is down about 3.5%, so definitely significantly more than Citrus County and Florida as a whole, at $279,895 is the median sales price for single family homes. And the active inventory is up only 3.3%. So once again, it's very nice to see that thin out. Now, whenever we move down to Crystal River, if we're looking at Crystal River, we do see that the closed sales are definitely down compared to this time last year. There were only 6 closed sales in February, down 54% from the year before. So that has a huge impact on the median sales price with such a small sample size of only 6 sales. We can't put a lot of stock into the fact that the median sales price is down significantly. What we can say is that this is something that we want to watch moving forward the next few months. But I wouldn't focus too much on that. It could have been that just a few of those properties were in need of major renovation. And as a result, they went for far less than other homes that were on the market. We do see that the active inventory is up 25%. So still a bit of an overflow in Crystal River, but I think that we'll see that thin out throughout the rest of the year. And I think that increase in inventory is only in certain areas. I do believe that if you have a higher end home, a waterfront property, a very special property, a unique property, I think that there's still a very high demand for that. So I wouldn't put too much stock into those numbers. Now, if we continue to see that month over month, then maybe we need to pay a little closer attention. But what does this mean for you overall? If you're thinking about buying, you're thinking about selling, what does it mean? Well, if you're a seller and you've been on the fence, I hope that this is a very positive sign. These are some of the best numbers that we've seen in over a year. So we see that the market is starting to shift a little. Hopefully that will continue. Obviously, we want to continue to see those numbers creep up, but that's going to be dependent upon a lot of factors here locally and also throughout the U.S. So we'll have to keep a close eye on it, but very positive. I think we should continue to see home values rise or at least not fall much, if any, further. I think that we'll continue to see that active inventory drop, which will, again, have a positive impact. And so if you're a seller, you've been on the fence, I hope that you see this as now is the time to get off the fence. We're starting to get what we were looking for, and it might be time to sell. Now, if you're a buyer, what does this mean? Well, If I were a buyer, I would say, okay, we probably need to pull the trigger sooner rather than later. If the market is starting to turn around and starting to favor sellers more than it had been over the last year, now's probably the time to buy before we miss the opportunity, before we have the increased inventory, before we have the leverage removed from us and given back to the sellers. We should probably think about buying. So if you're a buyer, I would go on and say time is of the essence. And if you're a seller, I would say this is a very positive sign, and it might be time to get off of the fence and put your home on the market. But if you want to know about your specific circumstance and what might make sense for you, whether you're looking at buying or selling here locally, just give me a call. Happy to help any way that I can. And as always, if you find value in this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much.